Hi everyone and welcome to episode 44 of Morgan Reach TV. Today we're joined by the one and only Alfie Willis. Alfie is the visionary founder behind Choo Choo, the app that is currently disrupting the rail industry and providing that a fast-moving startup can take on the corporate giants. Alfie's journey into entrepreneurship was almost inevitable. Growing up with an accountant father running a successful firm in Nottingham, he was immersed in the world of business and finance from a very young age, with his mother, uncle and even grandparents being self-employed and running their own businesses. This upbringing, surrounded by entrepreneurs, provided Alfie with a unique masterclass in grit, strategy and the mechanics of success. We'll be looking into how that foundation combined with his education shaped a pathway that led him through various professional roles and ultimately to the decision to strike out on his own. In this conversation we explore the reality of building a brand from the ground up. So please join me in giving Alfie a massive welcome to Morgan Reach TV. Hi Alfie.
Hi Cam, how you doing?
I'm alright. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Bit of a long trip for you?
No, not really. It was about an hour 15, I think, from Nottingham.
Yeah, you came from Nottingham, but
Yeah.
you live in London, don't you?
Yeah, down in London. So been working down there at a private equity firm before I ended up launching Choo Choo.
Yeah.
And so probably had 9 months overlap working on Choo Choo and doing private equity. And now we've gone full time into Choo Choo because it's heading now in the right direction.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we start from the beginning, really. So childhood, your family, your dad's an accountant?
Yeah. So my dad's a chartered accountant.
Yeah.
Originally from Stoke. He put himself through night school to get the qualifications to go down to Bristol Poly to go do an accountancy degree.
Wow. Awesome.
He lived down in Bristol for 10 years. Ended up moving up to Nottingham, founded his own practice there. Setting up a business with my uncle, his brother. So he was a psychiatric nurse in Stoke. And so towards the beginning of the 2000s, under the Blair administration, they closed, Tony Blair closed all the long stay hospitals. And so essentially what you were going to have was a load of individuals with severe mental health conditions and special educational needs, all going to have to find their own healthcare providers.
Wow. So
what they went and did, they set up a healthcare provider in Stoke. And my dad was the financial director of that. He ended up selling that. And that kind of led to a load of relationships within private equity, which helped me certainly with connections in my career after I graduated from university. But obviously, a fair few annoyances along the way in terms of the travel industry, which I'm sure we'll get onto.
Yeah, that's it. So as a child, so you've got your dad, obviously as an accountant. What was the rest of your family in business?
So my mum is a driving instructor. She's self-employed, a driving instructor. Yeah. And my brother originally wanted to be an actor. Went down to London, did drama school. Quickly fell out of love with it, given how difficult it is to kind of break into that industry. And now he's in the Royal Navy and absolutely loves that. But in terms of being in the industry, no, not really. It's really my dad. And again, as so many parents, look up to their parents and with pure admiration. That was always me. And I was constantly asking him all about his business, all about his dealings with all the businesses that he'd go be working with, whether it be in a as a consultancy role or a financial director role, or as an accountant. And plenty of, really fascinating stories and really fascinating people that you met along the way.
Awesome. So as a child, from a young age, really, you've been surrounded by this?
Yeah, I was always fine with numbers and like that, but I never really wanted to go down into accountancy. I originally thought when I was at school I would move into engineering. It was something that I really quite liked, especially like architecture. That was something that I, still have a passion for now. But then at A-levels, I started doing economics and I absolutely loved it, especially the behavioural economics side of things. I just found so fascinating. And the fact and frankly, studying all of the economic recessions and the herd rationality of everything, that's something that inspired me to go do economics down at university. And the degree I picked down at Exeter was business economics. And the amazing thing about that was I had so many optional modules. And so all the optional modules I picked were behavioral economics, or history of financial crises, or history of like businesses, and all things that I have definitely kind of shaped the way that I think, and have definitely given me kind of the confidence, alongside, you know, an amazing supportive family, to, you know, go and start my own business.
Awesome. Did your mum teach you how to drive?
She did not. She did not teach me how to drive.
That would be quite difficult.
There would have been many expletives said in that car in those lessons.
Imagine, because it's difficult to teach your own kid.
No, it was actually, so the instructor who taught my mum to be an instructor.
Okay. So he's one of the colleagues.
He instructed me and my brother.
What's it like afterwards, like when you're driving with your mum? Does she kind of go, what are you doing?
She is a backseat driver, 100%. She's got a lot better. She's got a lot better in the last few years. But she certainly has been a backseat driver.
How's that been for your dad? Because you can imagine she's been kind of instructing him his entire life.
Well, I mean, very, very passive. Just go, hey, look, you can drive. That's the easiest way to get around that,
drives,
isn't it? Yeah, she's very happy driving. We all drive. My brother and my dad, they're absolute like motorheads. They love their cars.
Yeah.
So any opportunity really to get behind something, especially if it's a manual, they enjoy it.
Yeah, that's because when I met your father, it was obviously go straight on the cars.
Absolutely. Well, I find that's the thing. For me, if I want to go just have a quick conversation with someone, I can talk about football, I can talk about sports, I can talk about rugby. My dad and my brother, they can talk to anyone about, you know, cars. My brother is like a encyclopedia of horsepower on vehicles. It's I find it utterly ridiculous. I'm the same with like football stats and rugby stats. I can do that, but my brother and my dad and cars, that's something that, you know, you two, well, you three will certainly get along on. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a new convert to electric cars.
My dad had one
last week. So
like it.
Really,
Yeah.
I'm loving one.
What electric car?
Audi e-tron.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like a go-kart. Even though it's not, it's like a Jeep, but it's like really nippy.
Well, I've started driving an automatic only occasionally, just when I'm maybe up in Nottingham. They are quite fun to drive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in stop-start traffic, which
awesome.
I wish I had one down in London, because it's tedious.
Yeah.
Constantly shifting into first and second. I celebrate when I get into third. Yeah.
I hope you can stay there and you go up instead of stopping again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. So, okay, so you've grown up surrounded by business, followed your route to economics. So you went to Exeter Uni?
Yeah, so I went down to Exeter University. I did, my A-levels were economics, geography and design and technology. And that really, the geography and the economics really put the behavioural side of the behavioural passion in me. So loved my time down at Exeter. I think what helped was when I went down for my open day as well, it was a gorgeous sunny day on the south coast. That's always going to help. Whereas I went to Durham and it was absolutely miserable. Diet. It was, you know, it was absolutely gothic in every term in every definition of the term. Yeah, absolutely. But no, loved my time down there. Again, the sporting facilities down there are absolutely incredible. I love my sport. And the business school, brand new, it was perfect. And again, so many just amazing lecturers who, again, just gave me so much confidence in myself for, you know, what I wanted to go do, and also independence of how to think as well.
Yeah, awesome. So when you came out, so the private equity world, how have you found that?
It was originally an internship that I got there. But incredibly fascinating. So I was working at a small fund. It was only about £160 million in...
Only.
Well, I know, but that's the thing. In private equity,
in
that is...
terms, that's a small
that's
fish.
The thing. It's a very small fish in the private equity world, especially down in London. Obviously, you've got other private equity bases in the UK of Manchester, really. But £160 million funds in London is pretty small.
Yeah, drop in the ocean.
And Yeah, super, super fascinating. Especially because the businesses that we were investing in were, as the boss liked to say, unsexy businesses. They're anything with downside protection. So if a recession came along, we weren't going to be hit too badly. Which again is an incredible investment rationale, especially when you see how the market's going currently with so many private equity firms who invested so much in software. So many software companies have taken a massive hit on their net book values, all because the trading multiples of them are, going down so much because of AI at the moment.
Yeah, so potentially they could have been very fictitious to start with.
Yeah, but I absolutely loved it. And again, how old was I when I joined? I would have been 22, 23. Incredibly fascinating for a young individual to learn all about those different business models. I didn't walk into, an individual business where it's pure consulting or something like that. It was learning all about the buying and selling of different businesses. It was looking at more from a macro view than a micro view, which is always the side of economics as well I preferred. It was really, really, really interesting.
Brilliant. So how many years have you been down there now?
In London, I've been down there for about 2 years now. So I graduated a couple of years ago. And I've been down there since.
Awesome. What's been the best deal so far? Or can you, without naming any specifics, of course?
Well, I only worked on one deal because, again, when you're...
Because they take a while, don't they?
They take a while. And when you're a fund of that size, there's not really many deals you do. It's not like you're working at a KKR where you've got, 1,000 deals coming across your desk every month.
Yeah.
We probably have, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out of the ones you go do there, it's even the percentage is much smaller. We've done one in the aviation finance bulge, which was really, really interesting to work on. And again, it's just amazing being sat in the room with all of these incredibly intellectual people, and important people, consultants from all of the big four. It's amazing just to hear the way they think and also the humility of it. One of the smartest individuals I know, he was the one who asked the most questions, and asking questions of, oh, I actually don't know what that means. That's something I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to go and ask as a 22-year-old in those meetings. And so it's just like, right, if you want to know something, ask the question. You're not going to look like a chum. You just ask them. It's better to have the knowledge than not have it. Yeah.
And how do you know that people around you also are wondering the same thing?
I'm sure they were, but then again, who am I to answer that for them? But again, it just inspires that belief that, look, you've got to ask questions. You've got to ask questions if you want to, but you've got to put yourself out there. Because if you don't put yourself out there, nothing's going to happen. Again, there's a motto but a phrase that I absolutely love, which is, you don't discover new lands without losing sight of the shore. It's by a French author called André Gide, and it's just amazing because it's like, right, you have to take risk and you have to put yourself out of your comfort zone if you're actually going to make any progress.
And then take a step further and burn the ships.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no going back. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you obviously travelled around on train quite a lot.
Yes.
And is that where the big ideas kind of come from?
So this is where it came from. So my daddy used to work down in London 3-4 days a week. We're from Nottingham. I went down to university in Exeter, occasionally go down to London, or again, you're in Nottingham, so you're in the centre of the country. The best way to get places and get straight into city centres is the train. Yeah. However, as many people in this country know, trains are incredibly expensive and the punctuality of them is pretty poor. So it all really started, the whole Choo Choo story started in my second year at university, when my dad gave me a very frustrated phone call just to frankly rant how difficult it was to claim his delayed compensation back and how often he's been on a delayed train. This is someone who I then probed him about it, and he had never claimed delayed compensation back on any of his journeys when he was travelling to or from London for the 8 years he was working down there. That's so much money that he's essentially gone and foregone. And I bet there are hundreds of thousands of people who are similar to him, but millions of people who have also gone through the incredibly tedious process of trying to claim. And so,
why is that? Do you think because the process is so difficult?
I think one of the main issues is the 16 major train operating companies in the UK, all of which use a different delay repay scheme. The government has done a really good job at simplifying it now to pretty much 2, but again, there's still other train operators which use different schemes. And so it's not knowing if it's 15 minutes late or 30 minutes late and you get money back. And additionally, you get different degrees of compensation back depending how late you are. And again, it all depends on the amount of the ticket you have. And in the UK, there are tens of thousands of different fare types. It's an incredibly complicated system. And I mean, to go back to the story, my dad literally just was ranting about how difficult it was to claim this money. I was like, right, well, there'll be a business in there somewhere. What we should do is we should create a business which helps people claim their delay compensation back. It's like, right, okay, how are we going to do that? Okay, well, we should. I went away and I decided, right, okay, I'm going to try code something to automatically read e-tickets. I went and did that, but then quickly got sidetracked by my finishing my degree. Anyway, went and did that, and then started working in private equity. And again, as I said, there were months well, busy but not busy, because when you had deals on, super busy. But when you don't have any deals on, or you're not selling a business, you're not really that busy. So it gave me time to go and explore this. So I was like, right, okay. Again, my dad and I, we've always had this idea at the back of our minds. 2 years had elapsed, but I was like, right, no, I'm going to put some time into it. Right, okay. In the process of looking at it, found out that third parties aren't allowed to claim delay compensation on behalf of an individual. It's like, oh, well, we can't do that business. It's like, but we can do the next best thing, which is we can tell the user when they can claim delay compensation. We can tell them how much, and we can help them claim. So what's the best way to do all those? It's also to sell your train ticket. And that way we have all the information to help you claim. And my dad turns around and says, right, so we're going to take on Trainline, essentially. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And that started Choo Choo. And again, I have an incredibly childish dad who came up with the fantastic name that is Choo Choo. Originally, it was going to be something absolutely terrible that I was thinking about, but no, Choo Choo is absolutely fantastic. And anyway, quickly bought the website domain and quickly put a trademark in for it, and now the rest is history.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you so the app development and all the rest of it? Has that been a long process?
I started interviewing different software agencies probably back in February of 25. Eventually we decided on one probably late March. And I interviewed agencies from UK all the way over to India, and I think I must have interviewed maybe 12 different software agencies. Anyway, the one we went and decided on, honestly, that's been the best decision I've made, because what we've gone and built together has surpassed my expectations massively. And we've done a fantastic job, and we're improving it week by week as well. It's really, really exciting to see, especially how much detail they went and put into the software design document right at the beginning. Because again, they didn't have any expertise within National Rail. It'd be quite a niche thing if they did. Anyway, they got their heads around it so quickly. Absolutely fantastic. So that's certainly been the best decision that I think we've gone and made in this venture so far.
So if a user's to use your app to buy their train tickets and stuff, they can buy it anywhere in the UK. So it's any line. It
covers the entire National Rail network. Okay. And then the other differences that we've gone and done with it. So obviously we have the delay compensation side, which is what brought us into this in the first place, which is we have automatic delay repay notifications. So as soon as your train gets in delayed, we'd say, okay, you're eligible for 25, 50 or 100% of your ticket fare back. And again, we work out who is the guilty train operating company as well, which is something that becomes really complicated if you're traveling across multiple operators, because you have this attribution issue as well, which makes it difficult. And then the other benefits that we've gone and done, which we've done, which was super interesting for me because I originally didn't actually know about it. Which is when we were doing the research, I was like, okay, well, actually, we can get even cheaper tickets than the main operators sell and the main retailers sell. It's like, okay, so you can actually get rid of the booking fee because there's 4.5% commission built into the sale of a ticket, which is set by the rail delivery group, then the technical body behind National Rail. So great, no booking fees. That's one. Then split ticketing. Not all split ticketing is the same. You can actually optimize it further to find even more savings for the user. And we have a journey planner which does that. So we find even more savings for the user. And then we have this delay compensation side. So between those three things, that's our, different product offering. And obviously we're just trying to save the user as much money as possible. And we're trying to help them get their money back, which is, I think, the two biggest pain points in UK rail today.
Yeah, because are people even aware of that they can get their money back?
Well, that's the thing. I think there's still probably about 30% of people who have never claimed any money back. And again, the claims process it is difficult. They have been improving it, and I think with the renationalisation of I think what they're hoping to get to is the 16 major operators. Yeah, that should become easier. And I really hope it becomes easier. But what I hope that they eventually roll out is you allow to claim that compensation back through the retailer who you bought it from, not from the train operating company that caused the delay. Because that would just be good for everyone in the UK or anyone travelling in the UK.
On the consumer side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just trying to build something that's better than the current system. Because I don't know how many times I've had friends who complained about, the apps that they go and use currently. And this is before I even had the idea for Choo Choo. I mean, I know I was one of those people. But again, I think with the education and the modules that I went down and, having a family which is full of entrepreneurs, my dad to my uncles, his parents.
Your mum.
My mum. Yeah. It was like, right, well, let's create something better. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to create something which is better than the current system. And if we can save people more money along the way, I mean, well, that's one of the main things. We just want to pass on all these savings to the user. And we've done a really good job at that so far, but there's still more improvements we can do for it. And the more people who go and use Choo Choo now, as we're growing, the sooner we'll be able to achieve the main goal. And for me, the main goal is for Choo Choo to be the cheapest retailer in the UK. So you won't be able to find a cheaper train ticket. We may be the same price, but you won't be able to find a cheaper train ticket in the UK than Choo Choo.
Hopefully.
It's a pretty good goal, I think. And hopefully it's, because again, we have such a different, we're not constrained by any principal agent problem. You've got the train operating companies, which obviously don't really want to introduce split ticketing to their own apps because it will cannibalize their own revenue. And then you've got the big retailers who, whether they're private equity or venture capital backed businesses or public companies, they have a responsibility to their shareholders. They have shareholder expectations to optimize for, or they want to optimize for margin or revenue growth. And so it means removing booking fees entirely is difficult. Even lowering booking fees is difficult. And optimizing split ticketing means that they actually get less commission. We don't have any of those constraints because it's me and my dad who've gone and done this. Yeah,
so privately funded, privately set up.
Yeah, exactly. And and the longer we can keep it that way, I mean, if we eventually exit out of this business, I'm going to write bylaws into the company, which is you can never charge booking fees so long as there is commission built into the industry.
So moving forward, do you think there will be, because obviously it's just you and your father at the moment, and obviously your team around you.
Yeah, we've got our software team, and we have a marketing agency, and I've actually got 2 interns who are helping me with social media things, which is amazing. So we're keeping the ties with my university strong as well.
Awesome. Yeah. It's good, isn't it? To
It's
help
great.
others along as well,
It's the
give them the
thing,
experience.
people are good. People are nice, and people want to help. I mean, the whole reason I'm sat here is because, you know, we met at an event and we had a lovely conversation, and you very kindly asked me on here. Look, the majority of people are lovely and they want to support, hopefully, good things. And it's really good. Just treat others how you want to be treated, and it's I think you'll go a long way in life.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the Train app itself now, how's it going so far?
Yeah. So
when did it go live?
It went live on the 14th of August, 2025.
What time?
That's a good question. I don't know that one. It's my mate's birthday as well, that. So we're 9 months in, 9.5 months in.
Yeah.
We now have had over 30,000 downloads. I think we're closing on the 35 now. And we have sold, we're closing in on £200,000 worth of train tickets sold.
Awesome.
Which is fantastic. And our current growth rate, so our run rate for this year will probably be so from January to December, we will sell about £0.8 million worth of train tickets. And that's without any additional marketing exposure we get from a couple of things we have in the pipeline as well. So anyway, it's really, really positive things. And again, we have a short-term plan of trying to hit £100,000 in ticket sales a month, because that will unlock so many things. I won't speak about it here because they're hopefully going to be quite helpful for growing the business, but it hopefully will get the brand out there and the message out there as well. And again, it's one thing that I think the rail industry hasn't done particularly well, which is share the fact that they have this 4.5% commission.
Yeah.
I think PR of the big dogs has probably done a pretty good job at saying, well, hey, look, this is how we make our money through the booking fees. And that's the first question everyone has for me when I say, hey, look, I've got a new train app, which defines more split ticketing.
USPs,
no booking fees, no ads. We don't sell any data, and we don't have any upsells. Well, and no upsells. It's like, well, how do you make money? It's like, there's commission, but no one knows that.
Yeah, in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to give everyone the full picture. Because if you give everyone a full picture, then they can make a well-informed decision themselves of who they want to go purchase through.
Yeah, exactly. Have you had any pushback at all from the other train apps? Anyone?
No.
Rubbed shoulders with anyone yet?
Honestly, the smaller apps have been really supportive as well. There's plenty of room. It's an £11.7 billion industry in terms of ticket sales. So there's plenty of room for everyone. And there's so many other apps which are also doing amazing good things.
But obviously, as you grow, and hopefully it will continue to grow at a faster rate, and it will continue to take it, you're obviously taking market share from someone else.
Yes.
So ultimately, there will be.
Look, you're always going to be taking market share from the individuals who are from the companies that are charging booking fees, and the companies which aren't doing split ticketing. So,
when you say split ticketing, because I got it when you first spoke to me, but just for any listeners who don't know what that is, how does that work?
So it's quite interesting the way that the rail industry works, which is that train tickets aren't priced by distance; they're priced by demand elasticity, which means that the shorter distance. The shorter train journeys, they are cheaper because they have to compete with other modes of transport, such as buses or cars or cycling, even walking, right? But then your longer journeys, it becomes more difficult to get public transport that way. Yes, you could fly, but it's probably slower door to door because there's no airports within city centres. And again, driving is expensive because fuel, especially at the moment, is very, very expensive. And then you've got to park the other end. And even then trying to find parking's a pain. And so operators can charge premium prices for the long distance journeys. Yeah. And what split ticketing does, it cuts a long distance journey from one ticket maybe into, 2, 3, 4 tickets. It's the same journey, same train, and a lot of the time the same seats. But rather than paying the premium price of the long distance, you're paying the smaller prices of the smaller sections of the route.
And your app will do that automatically?
Yeah, so we've got a fantastic journey planner which finds all of these split ticketing savings as well. One thing that we currently do is we take 15% share of the savings that we found the user, but because our journey planner searches for more savings, still a lot of the time we are cheaper than a lot of the big boys. And again, it all plays back into the big goal of, right, I want to be the cheapest on every single journey in the UK. So that's where I want to get it to. We're not there just yet, but we're certainly on the way. But we've done a good job. So I checked earlier with one of our developers just to see what the largest saving we actually found someone on the train journey was, and it's £196.45 is the amount of money that we saved them. And they were going from Northumberland all the way into Wales. And I think we managed to find them a split ticket which had maybe 8 sections of it.
Yeah.
It's like a free app to save yourself nearly 200 quid. I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I bet they're going to buy again.
No, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed they'll leave a nice review as well.
Yeah, that's it. So at this stage of the business, you said you've just gone full time.
Yeah, so literally went full time probably about 2.5 weeks ago. But yeah, things are moving in the right direction. So again, all the money we make is off the commission and then the share of savings. But we are, and then we split our revenue with the various stakeholders that we work with. But fingers crossed, we're going to be at a point where we're not in the positive yet, but we will be soon, which is really positive to see given our growth that we have at the moment, which is we've got solid double-digit growth month on month. But, we are going off a very small base given the fact we only launched 9 months ago. So it's easier to achieve that growth now than it is maybe in a couple of years' time.
Yeah. How have you found the transition from working full time within kind of employment structure to being on your own?
It's a lot more travelling because I don't necessarily need to be because I don't need to be in the office. I mean, for example, this week I've been in between Birmingham and Nottingham the entire week with certain networking events and bank and business incubators, which has been really exciting. I think now the big difference is there's going to be a lot more networking and a lot more obviously trying to get the brand mission out there, because that is the way that you're going to grow the business, which is
public awareness, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's public awareness, and it's people going, oh, hold on, I've been delayed on the train, I didn't claim my money back, or yes, that was really difficult, or I didn't know if I could claim my money back or not. And there will be millions of people in this country who have those exact thoughts. It's like, right, well, I'm just trying to remove that level of stress for you. Even if you're sat on a delayed train, I know I've been sat on so many delayed trains since I built Choo Choo. Actually, not after the 4 months we launched. It was quite unique, but certainly in the last 4 months, I get sat on so many delayed trains again. And I don't have that level of anxiety because I know I'm about to get a notification saying, hey, look, you can claim 50% back of your ticket. And it's lovely because before I'd be, noting the time I
should have left, or time the
time we got in to St Pancras or Nottingham, and to have to do that anymore. It's great.
Yeah, the app does it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
And it will do it for you.
Yeah. So at the moment, what's been your main marketing?
The main marketing has been paid advertising, so social media marketing.
Yeah. Anyone looking for train line tickets?
Yeah, anyone looking for train tickets. But it's quite interesting. We started on the same philosophy as the big train operating companies, which is all these UGC videos, user-generated content. But we're a new app and no one's heard of us. We have no brands, we have no trust, we have no brand awareness. And so the best thing that we could have gone and done with it was launch founder ads. And so I went and filmed an ad, me saying, hey, look, I've gone and launched this app. These are the pain points, why I created it, and these are how we're addressing these pain points. Yeah. And the reaction to that was better than I could have thought. Our CPI, so our cost per install dropped 4 times, and our daily installs rose 4 times. It was, the reaction was absolutely fantastic, and it really set us up for the growth that we've seen since February that we did.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. So I'll guide you through the numbers if you'd like, which is January, we did 10.5 grand of ticket sales. We then launched the founder ad at maybe the 28th of January. February, we did 26.5 grand. So we, over doubled our previous month. And then we did 40 the following month. Then we did 45. And we're probably in ground to do about 60 grand this month, which is, again, fantastic to see, and just really want to keep that going and the same
definitely.
momentum.
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day. It's going to take time. But, yeah.
All building blocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's the what would you say your overall objective is? Obviously, you mentioned 100k a month to get to. That's a short-term thing.
Yeah, that's a short-term thing, 100%.
That's the current
but
goal.
I think that if I turning around when I'm old and grey, what I want to do is, if people want to go buy a train ticket, the first thing they think of is Choo Choo. It's like, that's then you've made an impact. Or look, if this falls on its face tomorrow, hopefully we can try and inspire some of the big companies to remove booking fees and optimize for more
split tickets,
for more savings for users. That's all. That's really what this is. It came out of pure frustration and just the desire for a better system.
Yeah,
and
it's been awesome.
And if we can force the other companies to kind of follow the same model that we're going to do, that's as good as, it's maybe not as good as people and kids in train stations constantly going choo choo, but it would be a pretty good alternative. Yeah.
Got you. I can sense a jingle coming along.
Pardon?
I can sense a jingle coming
exactly.
along.
Well, I think there's a Haribo type advert in there somewhere, isn't there?
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you so with your marketing agency at the moment, where are they kind of pushing this out?
Well, so this comes into mistakes I've made since launching Choo Choo, and again, I've made so many on terms of features that we maybe wanted to go do that just probably weren't the right thing to go do. But mistakes I've certainly gone and done is marketing. So we're now on our third marketing agency since we started. We made the wrong decision of people to work with in terms of the products offering that they were giving us. So with the first agency we were working with, they didn't provide any assets or creative, which is quite difficult for me to go and create that on myself.
So what they're doing, just a strategy?
They were all doing the placement of it.
Okay.
And they were doing the placement of all of the content or the assets that I'd gone and created for them, or the designer at our software agency had gone and created as well. And it wasn't a good model. And that's the thing. I probably was very rash in my decision to go work with them in the first place. And now we've gone to move to an agency which are creating loads of assets for us every 2 weeks. And kind of, really understands the newer, or younger demographic, social media platforms, the likes of, Instagram and TikTok. But they've been doing a really good job so far. I mean, our CPI that we've had on Android is 40 pence per install, which is, I've not seen any figures anywhere near there for anyone else, which is just.
So what does that mean? That you have to pay that? So
the way maybe don't quote me on this because I've never really worked in marketing, but essentially you bid.
Yeah.
Kind of you bid on audiences that you want to go see your ads, and obviously the better ads you go create, the more people will click on them, and then hopefully that will take you to a landing page which again will be strong enough to convert that user to download the app. And they've managed to find a really good audience which are high intent people for a cost per install of 40 pence. And previously our CPI was, maybe somewhere close to £2 to £3.
Wow.
So it's a really, really, really big difference. But again, that's the thing. It's making a mistake and then just having holding up the hand saying, right, that was a mistake. let's learn from it, move on, and hopefully you'll make the right call on the next decision.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that rate drop is
it's superb. But that's
awesome.
the thing, I think the lack of decision making can cost you more than making a wrong decision and then turning and finally making the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think and you'll know that as a business owner as well. You've got to make decisions. That is literally your one job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then make mistakes and then rectify those mistakes.
Yeah. Hold your hand up, say, look, that one was a mistake. This partnership is not going to work out.
How do we change it?
How do we change it?
Because the thing is, what I always found was when you're going into something fresh, you kind of take on a marketing agency or something, and it's only until they deliver what they're delivering that you realise where the gaps are.
Absolutely.
And then you truly know what you need or want.
100%. But you're never going to know everything, and you're never really going to know what the public is thinking as well. So the best you can do is obviously look at the data that you've gone and got from all of the marketing that you're going to go do. You can see what call to actions are going to help. You can see what hooks are going to encourage people to watch the video throughout and see what the inevitable benefits of your platform or your product or your consultancy agency or whatever you're trying to sell is. So it's just trying to learn and get as much information as possible.
So in the marketing and your approach to the market so far, how are you doing things different, or how are you trying to make a bigger name?
Well, the name is a great point.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, we've not gone for a boring name, a train something, like there are so many in the industry.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I've got an incredibly childish dad who came up with Choo Choo, which is absolute gold, I think, at least. And we've had quite a few people go,
Can we go, when I met you?
Yeah.
And you were telling me about the app and I said, what's the app called?
And it was the first time I tried this question out, which was, what noise does a train make?
Alan, I got it right.
Got it right first time, and I was very happy it worked because it was the first time I tried it. I've
really?
tried it once since actually, and again got the right answer.
Yeah.
So no, that's good.
Awesome.
But obviously because it's an onomatopoeic name as well, it's like right. Well, we could do something else with that, which is we could do our own notification noise. So
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
If fingers crossed one day I'm going to be in St Pancras, the train's going to be hopefully it won't be cancelled, but when it inevitably is, I'll just hear a sea of choo-choos from people's phones. That'll be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So it's just trying to do something different and something that will stand out. And I think obviously it's a name which does stand out. And hopefully the colour does as well, even though I'm colourblind and I don't know why I chose it. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we are going to do something different, which is going to catch people's attention.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're available on all apps, aren't you? All operating systems.
Yeah, so available on iOS and Android. And then we also have launched our web app as well, which has got a load of super helpful blogs that I've gone and written, all, comparison articles against, the other competitors. So people can feel free to go read those and see how we differ and in places how we're worse. For example, we don't do any European rail. So if you, want to go to Pisa, I don't know why Pisa, but Pisa. You can't use Choo Choo. But there's loads of super helpful information on there. Also how to save money, like more money as well. Because obviously you have split ticketing, but I think the best way for people to save money is rail cards is massive. If you are eligible for a rail card, get one if you know you're going to be spending money on trains. And the other one is booking early. Advanced tickets come out 12 weeks in advance and you can save 60% probably from booking early, probably higher on certain routes as well. And then you combine that with split ticketing. You can save, 90% on train tickets if you book early.
Do you get saving on the kind of last minute as well?
You can do, yeah.
Does the algorithm drop?
Yeah. Again, it all depends on the train operator.
Yeah.
Because there are some operators which have now revenue optimized to prevent split ticketing, but there are still some which haven't. So Great Western Railway, pretty much you can get split ticketing on most of their routes. I mean, I think I looked at Derby to Exeter. we'll split that journey probably about 6 times, and find a load of savings for a user. Which is, I mean, a route I always used to use to go down to university. But yeah.
Brilliant. And the app just does all this, so the user just gets the savings automatically.
Yeah. So the price you see is the price you pay. There's no booking fees added on at the end. There's obviously the share of savings, but what you see is what you pay. And if we can find you cheaper train tickets, we will. I mean, that's something we've had a load of like 3-star reviews going, it's the same price as Trainline. I was like, yeah, that's because there's no splits that can be done on that journey, unfortunately. But if you're going to take another journey in the future, like you probably may find some more savings. Yeah. And I mean, then there's no booking fee. So there's an immediate win there as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not going to be for every single journey, but
no, and it can't be. But and that's that asterisk on the goal, which is the cheapest on every single train journey. Well, the asterisk is cheapest or the same price, but that same price will be just because that is the cheapest you can find it. Yeah. So
no, I get it. So with your with the marketing, you've had to learn all that function. How have you found the rest of the business? Obviously, you're having to wear all the hats at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that's super exciting, which is when you're a founder, and at the minute the team is me, pretty much. I've never worked across so many industries and so many roles in my life, but that's the exciting bit. I'm learning so many technical things working with a software agency. I'm learning so many marketing things with the marketing agency. I'm now becoming an SEO specialist almost, because again, that's another way which you can really have a positive impact on the visibility of your business through Gen AI. And if you build a website which is optimized for that, you've done a good job to for people to find you. I pretty much every other day I will go on all of the different AI engines, and I'll ask to recommend a UK train ticketing app just to see if we're being recommended or not. Gemini loves us. ChatGPT, we're coming in there occasionally now. Perplexity always never says choo choo, and then I ask, why aren't you saying choo choo? And it goes, well, because this is your app. It's too smart, I think, Perplexity. It knows what I'm trying to get at before I've asked it. I think there's so many things which you can go do that are low cost. Obviously, you've got the social media side of things as well for marketing, for organic content, but it's so oversaturated.
But you told me about your TikTok video that did quite well.
Yeah, so I did a TikTok video. I posted it on Instagram, and that got about 5,000 views. But I posted it on TikTok, and it got 50,000 views. I spent a lot of time working on that video. And so it was nice to see the rewards of it. But everything else I posted on there, which was never done to the same quality or production of the video that I made then, maybe 200 views. So but it's a really nice kind of indicator to go, right, okay, if I can spend a day a week filming a really good video, hopefully in a few months' time, I will have a decent following on that platform, and I can share the message. And additionally, well, I went and I've storyboarded these videos that I'm going to be making, and it really is so easy these days now to edit. I mean, with software like CapCut, I just do it all on my phone. I mean, I don't know what you guys use for Morgan Reach, but CapCut is absolutely superb.
It is. Yeah. Especially on all those trains that you're sitting on.
Yeah, exactly. God,
fancies your time quite well.
Well, it's my pupils going square, as my grandparents used to tell me when I was sitting too close to the telly. I'm there trying to obviously edit the tiniest details. No, it's
How are you doing on that? You must be quite good at editing now.
Well, I'll show you the video after, and you can tell me what you think. And I've made another. Awesome. I've done half another one so far. But again, I was slightly too busy the day I tried to film film that whole video. But it's really positive. And again, I'm on your social media. You've got 10,000 followers on Instagram, which is absolutely superb, and all of that is organic as well, which is what you want. one of the founders so I've had a load of founders reach out from this founder ad that I've gone and done.
So what was that? Sorry, the founder ad that you did. What was
so
that all
rather
about?
than the UGC ad, I did an ad saying, "Hi, my name's Alfie. I've launched a new train ticketing app called Choo Choo. It does all of this, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
And the reaction to that was really positive. And I had a load of other founders, young founders and British founders, all reach out and just going, "Oh, love what you're doing. This is fantastic. I'm doing this stuff." So a load have reached out, a load of actually doing stuff in like the renting world, given how difficult that is for people living in London, especially at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same in Birmingham, but obviously I'm constantly fed into the London news.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to hear these people resonate with the pain points I'm trying to solve. And then they tell me about their businesses, whether it be over a pint or a coffee or a Zoom call or a phone call. It's amazing to see. And one individual reached out, and he's managed to grow his business to 1.2 million followers, all organically on social media. It's
awesome.
Like, that is absolutely incredible. And this individual, me and him, were going to try set up a little networking agency as networking events in London. Again, because just the benefits that we've had of this has been absolutely superb. I've now met loads of people who know plenty of other people. I mean, recently Simon Squibb went and followed my business on Instagram.
Really?
And, Simon Squibb is, I guess, to the generation on Instagram and TikTok, see him absolutely everywhere. And he's such an inspirational individual, telling everyone to go chase their dream. I mean, it's probably, I'm sure he's subconsciously a big inspiration for me as well. Just him going, right, come on, go do it, go do it, go do it. No one's going to do it for you. So take the leap.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
As your app kind of keeps growing and the back end kind of handling software and everything, are you going to need, is it going to eat up loads of resources? Is it going to turn into kind of, you're going to need a lot of funding and finance?
The back end, honestly, is not the issue. The issue is the marketing. The marketing is always will be expensive. But the software, the infrastructure behind it really isn't too expensive. Obviously, the build cost has bof significant. But that's an asset. That's an investment. But no, again, all of the subscriptions to the databases and data and storage that we go and have it's a really good proportion of the revenue that we're bringing in. So it's really positive to see. And again, as you get economics of scale of that, it looks even better. So that's one thing that I'm very positive about. It's much better than having a business where you are worried about stock and inventory levels and trade debtors and trade creditors 100%.
Yeah. Brilliant. So what's kind of, not being bleak about it, but what's been the kind of darkest hour so far?
I mean, our whole business changed when we found out that third parties couldn't claim delay compensation back for individuals.
Of course,
that changed everything. And as meant we're now competing with billion-pound companies. So that is, that was quite a dark day. But if anything, it gave...
At that point, though, what drove you forward instead of just kind of going, oh, well, sack that off then?
Because we were so frustrated by it.
Yeah.
My dad and I were so frustrated by the lack of communication from some of the train operators telling us when we could claim, and then the tediousness of having to claim. So yeah, that's the pure frustration which has gone and built this. And again, it's one of the biggest assets of Choo Choo is that pain point and that story and that mission to go do it, because it's something that so many people can resonate with. Yeah,
definitely. So if you were to say, you're obviously talking to other founders at the moment and you're getting a feel for what people are thinking and how they think, what would you say to anyone thinking of a business idea or, your Simon Squid moment, so to speak.
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Talk to your family, talk to your friends, and talk to the people who you are trying to solve their pain point.
Yeah.
When we were launching it, when we were launching Choo Choo, and we launched our development via Test Flight, which is like the Apple developer thing you can do to download the development version of your app. I got all of my friends I asked all my friends who wants to help this. So many of them came back. I got a massive group chat with all of my friends who have gone and like helped me out with this. And all of them are giving all this amazing feedback of features that, oh no, you need to go do this. When I'm running for my train, I don't know what platform I'm on. You need to make sure that the platform is on the first page of the search.
Do you know what? That's such a good thing.
Yeah.
It's always like, crap, what platform is it? Like,
Absolutely.
Like last minute.
Yeah. And so it's like, right, okay, well, no, that's a really good point. That's super helpful. Or, direct trains. Like no apps actually have a filter just to show the direct trains or trains with the fewest connections. I was like, why? It was like, no one really wants to get on a 3 change journey because it's just annoying. Even if it's 10 minutes faster, it's like, no, it's annoying. I'd rather sit 10 minutes and not have to, worry about getting off the train and getting on the train and, I've left luggage on the train before. It's quite annoying. So it's just hearing the feedback and the pain points from these people, and also how we can try and, improve the other, and also hear how many other people have the pain points that we have, because then you've got a customer base who are going to use you. It's 100% go talk to people. Yeah. And share it. Honestly, the social media side of things, yes, I know we've said that social media is so saturated. Like the fight to get eyes on your videos and your content is so difficult these days. Yeah. But if you can find the audience that you are trying to, you know, you'll have an amazing start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cracked it.
Yeah.
So to speak.
And again, people will get worried that, I don't want to share my idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to share my idea because someone will run away and steal it. But how many people are go-getters? How many people are going to have the confidence to go, right, I'm so annoyed about this, I'm going to try and fix it? They're not, because it's a very difficult thing to go do.
Yeah. And they're not, how many people are going to go out and say, I'm going to do the same thing?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's an amazing thing, which, the likes of Simon Squid is doing. It's like, no, you believe in yourself and you can do it. And 100% people can. I didn't know hardly anything about the train industry before going into it, and I would like to class myself as somewhat of an expert in it now.
You sound like it. It sounds like you spent quite a long time looking at train lines.
The fact that I know when East Midlands Railway's off-peak and super off-peak starts is slightly annoying for my own conscience, but yeah.
Awesome. But you have to become
100% because I'm so passionate about it. But if you're not passionate about it, then it's probably not going to work, which is the thing. Because if you wake up, you want something to wake up out of bed for, and that is, and it's the desire to fix this. It really is.
Go choo choo.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
awesome. But with your so you're looking at long-term picture, what's always been in your mind? What do you want to do with this? Sell it eventually? Or is there a need to? Can you just keep it going for the recurring income?
The longer you can keep institutional money off this, the better it is for everyone. Because again, as we mentioned earlier, there's an incentive problem. If institutional money gets on there, then they're going to want the profits to rise or the margins to rise, especially. Yeah. And the only way to do that and I'm a price taker. I'm not a price setter. My price is set by National Rail, that 4.5% commission. So, the only way for me then to improve a margin, if an institutional investor wants me to, would be to add ads or add booking fees or add upsells. And those are things which take away from the user experience, which I don't want to do. What I've kind of wanted to do with this business is go back to the old high street model, which is, you want to go buy some meat, you go to the butcher. You want to go buy some veg, you go to the greengrocer. You want to go buy train tickets, you go to Choo Choo. That's what I want to do. Make it simple and make it as cheap as possible for the user.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what would be your final points to say to budding entrepreneurs or anyone out there?
One, reach out. I'd love to hear what you have to say, what you're wanting to go do, and who you know is more important than what you know. So reach out, ask people. They may know someone who can help you. They may know someone who is an industry giant who you may not want to go talk to, but do it. I know when I started, literally I just reached out to a load of individuals who had their own retailing apps, and I had calls with all of them, and they were all lovely individuals. Again, people are nice. People are positive. People want to be treated the way you treat them. And, just go out there and do it. Just take the leap.
Yeah. And I would agree. Everything you say resonates, because when I think back to how I got into business, it was, I literally said, how do you do that? And then people put their hand out and said, I'll tell you what, we'll show you how to do it. And
absolutely.
That's how I got started.
And I think there's a lot of, to the young generation, a lot of adults don't know what they're doing. Like, half the time I don't know what I'm doing. But as long as you have a direction and you're going in that direction.
Or walking around in the days most of the time.
You're slowly going to get to the destination. It's the phrase, the greatest journey starts with the smallest step. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Each day, just keep going in that direction, and eventually you're going to get there.
Yeah. Could we just show on the camera your app? Because
Absolutely.
because obviously we'll put all the details on there anyway, but just so that, the colour and, what it looks like and stuff, so people can.
Which camera? That one?
Anyone you want.
Well, so two colours. Obviously, we have our lovely light mode with green and everything. And then we also have a dark mode, which I think is really quite nice. And kind of looks like Spotify almost.
Awesome. With the bright green.
I think it looks really nice.
So can people buy tickets on their computer as well, like on their desktop?
And on the web. So choochoo.co.uk. You can get tickets on there if you sign in, and then you sign in with the same account on the app. You can purchase your tickets at your desk, and then they'll go straight through to your phone. If you enable notifications, then obviously you can get your lovely choo-choo notification noise.
Would it make that noise?
You can also get notified when you're eligible for compensation or platform changes or any other pertinent information that you may need.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me on. Ta.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching or listening to this episode with me on it. Please download Choo Choo. Again, there's an app feedback button on there. So any recommendations or any app features, please let me know. The email comes straight to me. Like, share and subscribe to Morgan Rich TV.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for watching today's episode. I hope you found that very entertaining and informative. Please do remember to download your Choo Choo app, and please do follow Morgan Rich TV for more episodes and to see our next guests. Thanks very much.